You talk about, I believe, placebo effect. What are the dangers of this? Of how often it's discarded? It's usually just thought of as a something to write in the notes of research. Nobody pays attention to placebo. Why is that a problem?
Well, well, it's a very big problem because placebos are probably our strongest medication. But if you think about placebos, what is a placebo? So somebody in a white jacket usually gives you a pill. You believe that pill is going to cure you, but the pill is inert. To be a placebo, it means it has no medical efficacy. So when you take that sugar pill and you get better, the question is, well, what's making you better? And the answer is you're making yourself better. So a good deal of our research is devoted to getting rid of the sham. You don't need somebody to give it to you. You don't need to make believe it's effective. You can actually control your own health.
And what a difference that makes. I mean, can you describe? This leads us, I think, naturally to your turn back the clock study.
Okay, so yeah, some of these studies are designed to show the power of the mind indirectly. So we'll start with that, but then let me tell you, since you can't easily fool yourself, how one can, in fact, improve their health. The counterclockwise study it was the first test of this mind body unity idea. It is very simple. It's saying mind, body, these are just words. Let's put them back together and back together, then wherever you're putting one, you're necessarily putting the other. And that actually explains placebos. You take that placebo now, your mind believes, you believe that you're going to be healthy and health results. So what we did to test this mind-body unity was to retrofit a retreat so that it seemed as if it was 20 years earlier. Okay, we had posters, all the furniture and everything was of that earlier.
Nostalgia of the
Right.
1950s
And
or
then
something.
it was, we did this study in 1979 and so it was 1959 that we were simulating.
Mhm.
And we brought old men to this timeless retreat to embody their younger selves. So they were supposed to live for the week as if they were 20 years younger. Talk in the past about the present, talk about the past in the present tense. All the activities they engaged in were as if it was only 1959. We had a comparison group also live in the same retreat for a week, but for them, they were just reminiscing. Now, this study was sort of remarkable in many ways, and I can say that about my own work because it has now been described in The Simpsons Go to Havana. Okay, so now I know I've made it. But
You've made it.
anyway, in this period of time, as short as a week, old men, we found that their hearing improved, their vision improved, they looked noticeably younger, their memory
Wow.
improved, and so on. The effects were astonishing. To happen at all, no less in only a week.
I mean, it's something like like hearing improvement, right? It's something like
Yeah,
that where most people would say is objectively a function of mind speed or processing speed or something like that.
hearing and vision. Most people presume that as you get older, you get your hearing and vision both diminish,
Mm.
and that the only way it's going to improve is with some medical intervention. And this is not a medical intervention. So
Wow.
that was the beginning. And then we've done several studies since. I can describe a couple if you're interested.
Sure. There was one with housekeepers.
Yeah. So we took chambermaids and we first asked them, how much exercise do you get? And they say they don't get exercise. And that's because they think exercise is what you do after work and they're just too tired from their work. And we simply told half of them, taught them that their work was exercise, that working at a gym, making beds was similar to doing this or that exercise at a gym and so on. So at the end of this, we have two groups. One group who doesn't realize their work is exercise, one group who's now changed their minds about that. As a result of this change in mindset, we found that they lost weight, there was a decrease in waist to hip ratio, body mass index, and their blood pressure came down
Wow.
just by changing their mind.
Wow.
In a more recent study, we have type 2 diabetics. We test them, we give them many tests before the experiment starts. They sit down at a computer. Next to the computer is a clock. You'll understand why in a moment. They're asked to play computer games and change the game they're playing every 15 minutes or so to ensure that they look at the clock. For a third of the people, the clock was going twice as fast as real time. For a third of the people, half as fast as real time. For a third of the people, real time. And what we found was that blood sugar level followed perceived rather than real time. In another study, we have people in a sleep lab. They wake up, they see the clock. I'm big on clocks. The clock tells them if they got 2 hours more sleep than they got, 2 hours fewer, or the amount of sleep that they got. Again, the perceived amount of sleep determined biological and cognitive functioning.
It seems as though the results would indicate that our programming, our perception of our disability, let's say, or our lack of fitness or something, actually is what conditions or
In
creates the
part, yes,
response
yes,
in the body.
to a large extent, yes.